Welcome back, beautiful soul. I'm so happy you are here today. Today's episode is for the woman who somewhere along the way stopped seeing herself as being a sensual being. Not intentionally, not overnight, but gradually, quietly, almost without even noticing. Life gets busy, responsibilities increase, children need things, partners need things, work needs things, and everyone seems to need something. And slowly, a woman can become to lose connection with a part of herself that once felt alive, playful, sensual, expressive, connected, creative, present, the woman who laughed more easily, the woman who felt beautiful in her own skin, the woman who noticed beauty instead of rushing right past it, the woman who felt alive enough to enjoy her life instead of simply managing it. And if that's where you find yourself today, I want you to know something. You haven't lost her. You may simply have lost touch with her, connection with her. Welcome to Checked In, Reclaiming Intimacy from the Inside Out. I'm Dr. Tabitha Taylor, your host, your guide, a licensed professional counselor, sex therapist, and intimacy coach. And today we're talking about what it means to see yourself as a woman, a sensual woman, again. And oh, if you find yourself bracing, cringing, let me say this, because this is where so many women can get stuck. When they hear the word sensuality, they may immediately think about sex. But sensuality is much bigger than sex. Sensuality is your relationship with being alive. It's your ability to experience life through all of your senses, to notice beauty, to enjoy touch, to feel warmth, to savor a meal, to appreciate music, to enjoy movement, to feel connected to your body. Sensuality is presence. And many women aren't disconnected from sensuality because they don't want intimacy. They're disconnected because they've spent years living from the neck up, thinking, managing, planning, oh honey, solving, doing, surviving, without realizing they've stopped inhabiting their bodies, living in survival mode. And prolonged periods of living in survival mode can change our identity. And this is one of the most important things I want you to understand. Survival doesn't just affect our nervous system. It affects how you see yourself. For example, a woman who spends years caring for everyone else often begins identifying as the responsible one, the dependable one, the helper, the caretaker, the strong one, the problem solving. You may hear her use these words to even describe herself. The one who keeps everything together. And while those qualities can be so beautiful, they can slowly become your entire identity, leaving very little room for the playful woman, the curious woman, the sensual woman, the sexy woman, the woman who receives joy, the woman who experiences pleasure, the woman who feels alive inside of her own skin, her own body. And eventually, she begins believing that there's just not who I am anymore. But often that is not the truth. It's simply the result of living in survival mode for a very long time. And honey, you were never meant to simply function. I want to say something directly to the women who feel numb, the women who feel disconnected, the woman who is going through the motions, to the woman who can't remember the last time she felt fully present, fully seen, fully alive. You were never meant to simply function. You were meant to experience what it means to be living. You were meant to laugh, to feel, to play, to connect, to create, to enjoy, to receive beauty, to experience pleasure. Not as something you earn, but as part of you simply being human and being the whole you. And somewhere along the way, many women unconsciously begin believing that pleasure is optional, that joy can wait, that their needs come last, that they'll reconnect with themselves someday after everything else is taken care of, but someday often keeps moving further and further away. And if that's you, it's time for a pleasure identity shift. This is where the real shift begins, not with performance, not with technique, not with forcing desire, but with identity. Because before a woman can consistently experience pleasure, she often needs to believe she is someone who is allowed to experience pleasure. And that may sound simple, but it's powerful. Many women are trying to change their behavior without changing their identity. They're asking, how do I increase desire? How do I enjoy intimacy more? How do I reconnect with sexuality? When underneath those questions is a deeper one. Do I still see myself as a sensual woman? Because if the answer is no, the work is not simply about intimacy. It's about remembering you. Your sensual self is not a performance. She is not a character. She is not a role you play. She's a version of you that feels present in her own life. The version that notices beauty, that experiences pleasure, that allows herself to enjoy, that inhabits her body, that feels connected to her emotions, that trusts her own experience. She's the version of you that lingers a little longer in the warmth of the sun, in the flow and softness of the water. The version of you that notices how soft the sheets feel against her skin. The version of you that closes her eyes when she hears her favorite song. The version of you that lets herself pause and enjoy beauty without rushing past it. Because sensuality isn't something you perform. It's something you experience. It's the ability to fully inhabit your life. And the beautiful thing is this: you don't have to become someone new. You simply get to reconnect with the parts of you that may have been waiting patiently underneath the responsibilities, underneath the stress, and underneath the survival. Here's what reconnection can look like. Reconnection doesn't have to be dramatic. In fact, it's often surprisingly simple. It might look like slowing down enough to notice what feels good, listening to music that moves you, spending time in nature, wearing something that makes you feel beautiful in your own skin, savoring your morning coffee, dancing in your kitchen, taking a walk without multitasking, allowing yourself moments of pleasure without the guilt. These moments may seem so small, but they are powerful acts of reconnection because every time you choose presence, you strengthen your relationship with you. If you take nothing from this episode, remember this. You're not too old. You're not too busy. You are not too disconnected. And you are definitely not broken. Maybe she's been waiting underneath the responsibilities, underneath the schedules, underneath the caregiving, underneath the survival, waiting for permission to exhale, waiting for permission to play, waiting for permission to enjoy her own life again. The sensual part of you did not disappear. She adapted, she protected, she waited, and she is still there, waiting for your attention, waiting for your presence, waiting for your permission to come forward again, to show up and to come alive again. Before we move into today's practice, I want to leave you with a gentle reflection question. When was the last time you felt fully alive in your own body, inside your own skin? Not productive, not useful, not needed, but alive. Just sit with that for a moment and just notice what comes up. Before we close today, let's take a moment to reconnect with your body. Take a slow breath in, a gentle breath out. Allow your shoulders to soften. Allow anywhere in your body that has been holding tension or quietly asking for a little release to relax. Now simply notice one sensation you can feel inside your body now. No judgment, no pressure, just notice. Now, gently ask yourself, what feels nourishing to me today? What should good feel like? What does it feel like to nourish? What would I need? What would I do? Take another slow breath. Softly remind yourself, I am allowed to experience pleasure. I am allowed to feel alive. I am allowed to enjoy my life. My sensuality is a part of my wholeness and belongs to me. Take one final breath. Simply notice what shifts. And that's enough for today. Beautiful soul, the journey back to you rarely begins with a dramatic transformation. More often, it begins with a small moments of remembering, a moment of presence, a moment of beauty, a moment of pleasure, a moment of feeling beautiful in your own skin, a moment of connection. And those moments add up until one day you realize you weren't becoming someone new. You are merely coming home to you. Until next time, keep checking in, one breath, one choice, one gentle moment at a time. And if this episode resonated with you, please subscribe so you don't miss what's next. I'm Dr. Tabitha Taylor, and I'll meet you right here next time as we continue reclaiming intimacy from the inside out.